What's going on, everybody? Had a couple questions about how to remove the Bimini on a sea-doo switch. Now, this thing is huge, as you can see. It's absolutely massive, and there was a lot of questions about how to do this. So the way I did this, not everybody does it this way, is what I would consider the easiest way, but there are harder and more difficult, and then also, if somebody has an easier way, let me know of how you did it. But basically, having two people is easier, because this thing is massive and it's heavy. The way I did it was I started by taking the canvas off, because this thing is annoying and it gets in the way. And then I strapped these all together, because once the canvas is off, these start to come apart in every which weird way. But anyways, from there, what I did was, this is the only thing that matters. This one and this one over here. This you don't need to take off if you don't want to, but you can if you want to use the railing without the Bimini. But I had to take the Bimini off to put it in the garage. As you saw in my previous video, I only have a 7-foot tall garage, and I had to find a creative way to do it. So, the way you take this off is, first of all, these two bolts right here come off first. What that does is it clamps this mechanism in right here. So the way you do it is you use let me pull the bits out so we can see them live. This HW6, and it's like an Allen key. As you can see right here, goes right in with no play. And I have this one with a 1/4-inch socket. So I spun it out, spun this one out. So once those two were out, what I ended up using after that was this right here. It's a star bit. This is a T30 star bit. I don't know if it's going to focus, but there you go. T30 star bit. And then you take this off right here and this off right here. Now, keep in mind, once you take these two off and these two off, this thing will just pop out, and this Bimini will be exposed in this. There's like a spacer in here that holds in the Bimini down below here. You can't really see that, but right there, it gets clamped on via these two bolts here and here. So with that, see down here, it gets clamped in. So this mechanism will literally just fall off, but the Bimini should stay in place. Now, if we go over to this one and do the exact same thing, of course, take your seats out just by popping them out and moving them over. And then you take this one out, and then the two down below. So do the same thing, just this side will pop out, and then your Bimini is completely free. You could pick the entire thing up and then move it out and move it away. So I did it without the canvas on, because the canvas tends to be super annoying. It's very much in the way. So I got rid of that, and then all of a sudden, this thing was a lot easier after I strapped it. But once these two things are out, you basically just lift the Bimini and off it goes. Pretty simple, especially for storage. Now, I would have two people only because the Bimini, like I said, is super heavy. Now, you have to go on the other side and remove these two bolts here and here. Once you do that with your star bit, this whole mechanism will come off. So this and this both will come off, and same thing with that. The only problem with doing that, keep in mind, is underneath here you could see there's a connection and a connection. Now these actually will become loose right here, the whole rail. So make sure you just put these back in here and here. They'll be sticking out a little bit, about yay far, but it doesn't matter. It still works fine. I rode for about a month and a half with that like that, without any Bimini in, and there was no issue whatsoever. So this is a sea-doo switch compact. It happens on both versions of the switch, even when you have two Biminis. Basically, it's just two of these. But that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If anybody else has any questions about the switch in general and how to do certain things with it, leave them in the comment section below, and we could go over it, and I'll do a video on it. These are things I just found after owning the switch for over a year, or about a year, I should say. So, yeah. Anyways, see you on the water, guys. Catch you in the next one.